This is one of my little sneaky stories, right? Like I told y'all in the video, it was either before this or the video before that. I used to be messing with chicks, and niggas wouldn't even know that I was messing with chicks, as I wouldn't tell them. And honestly, as men, like I said, you can learn from your past self. Your past self will teach you a lot of things because your past self was going based on instinct. You know what I'm saying? Just based on what you think you should do. And sometimes that shit works better than, for example, you trying to get all this information to do something. Like, for example, learning an instrument. I remember I was trash. I was in band, like beginning band, when I was like a junior. I was trash at playing the instrument. I didn't even know how to play it. Because basically all I would do was just write down like all the different notes, but I never actually like played it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really fully know what I was doing. But sometimes you have to do that. You have to take the training wheels off and you have to learn. I still got a C in the class. I mean, it is what it is because I still was technically playing, still going to class, whatever. It's easy to get like a C. And I was a nice student, so I would like talk to my like band teacher and stuff, you know, vibe with him, whatever. I think he was gay. He kind of like, it was weird. It was like how he kind of came off as like kind of fruity. And then he had like the guy who was like his best friend or whatever. And it was like this black dude, and the black dude kind of acted kind of fruity. So I was like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, is that his boyfriend or something? Like, like no hate. He might have not been gay at all, and I'm just talking. But that's like, if you would have seen what I seen, you would have think like, was he like fruity, bro? But I mean, it doesn't matter if he was or wasn't. But anyway, sidetracked it. You know, back then it was like you were just going on primal instinct with women. So it was like, how do I even explain it better than that? It was basically like I wasn't lovey-dovey, but I still had like that, you know, that good feeling you get when you talking to a chick. You know what I'm saying? Like you be or messing with a chick. Like you get all the little butterflies and shit, but you weren't corny with it. Like, you know, like I said, 9 times out of 10, you're going off of like instinct or whatever. You know, so it's like, you know, you chilling, you have like a chill vibe. And I remember when I was like, I want to say I was around probably about 16. I was an 18-year-old and she had her own crib. Nobody knew this either. This was like some shit I was doing. You know, they use download for the gay shit. I was like, download straight or some shit. Like I would not let people know what was going on. They only knew like a few chicks I was dating. Like my family and friends, they think I've only dated like 2. I've probably dated like maybe 10-ish, but like realistically. But I remember I was messing with this chick. And she was really like my shorty. Like she was a cute little Mexican chick, about 5'2", slim, thick, fat butt, like that nice apple bottom butt that T-Pain was talking about. Boy, you know what I'm saying? But she lived in an apartment with her friend, and her friend was like probably about 5'6" ish, slim, skinny, had like a small little booty, but I had like double, like big giant tits, like double D's, bro. Like you knew her back hurt, bro. And they were both like the one I was dating was tan skin, and her friend was kind of like in the middle. I don't even know how to really explain it. She was like kind of whitish, but kind of tan. I don't even know how to explain how she looked. She was more closer, I would say, to like tan skin. She's like a light skin, tan skin, I guess would be the best way to say it, right? But the one I was messing with was straight up tan skin. And I had met her, and this is what I used to do back in the day. I would go to the mall, talk to chicks, bro. That was the best place to find them and date them. And dating wasn't even an online thing like back then. It was mostly like you go out and just talk to chicks, bro. And it's still better to do that nowadays. Even though there was like this shit my cousin used to use called Periscope, where he would find chicks from there. Like he found chicks from there and they would come to the crib with him and stuff like that. It was crazy. And he would use Facebook sometimes. But I met this Mexican chick like at the mall, bro, where I used to live. And I remember we were just talking. Like she actually was, like I said, some women are cool, some women ain't cool. She was actually cool. Like I got her number and shit. Called her that night. We actually talked on the phone for like hours about deep ass shit. You know what I'm saying? She had a job. She worked at like some restaurant, bro. It was like a Chili's type restaurant. Was it? It was either Chili's. It was like Chili's, Applebee's, or Red Lobster. One of those three type of places. Cause she always would wear like the little black uniform or whatever. I used to see that in her room, but I never really paid attention to it for real, for real. Cause I mean, when you at a woman's crib, where you paying attention to like what she dressed up to go to work, hell no, you pay attention to her and shit. But basically, the layout of like her crib, right, was like her apartment was on like the right hand side over here, and she was on the second floor. You would go in that bed, living room was right here, boom. You would be, the kitchen was on this side. You walk downwards to towards the bedroom. The bathroom was on the left hand side, boom, and then her friend's room was on the right hand side, and her room was just straight back. That's how her crib was, right? That's basically how it was. And basically, we would just vibe, we would kick it, we would talk on the phone like a lot. It was like some kid shit. Like when you was a kid, at least my experience. Let me now say everybody's, because everybody's experience is not the same. But you know, my experience was basically, you know, you would just vibe, talk on the phone for like hella hours. And then usually, eventually, after doing that 2 or 3 nights in a row, a chick usually, you'll go to their crib. That's usually how it is. If you really vibe with them and they think you handsome and y'all have like a connection or whatever. I mean, we used to talk about deep ass shit. I'm talking about like, you know, what was your childhood like? Like when you was in elementary school, what were you like? Like, what's your earliest memory? What were you like in middle school? You know, like now that you done with high school, she had literally like just got out of high school like that summertime. So I was like, well, what, you know, and I was a little more mature when I was like 16. So I used to ask like deep ass questions, but I've always been like that. So I'll just be like, are you planning on going to college, whatever, whatever? She's like, I don't really think I'm about to do all that. That's not really my style. I was like, fair enough, whatever, whatever. Just like chill shit, bro. And she had a little Spanish accent and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be extra with them. Like, I'll make chicks laugh. I'll be like, I used to say little corny ass shit, bro. But I was a good ass storyteller, and I was just funny as a motherfucker, bro. But I was also like chill sometimes too. Like I wasn't a goofy ass nigga the whole time. But sometimes I get real goofy. Like I'll be like, hey, like before we get off the phone, I'd be like, hey, I want you to tell me something. And she'd be all tired sounding like, what do you want me to tell you? Be like, I love you, daddy. Like I used to be extra like that. And they would laugh. They'd be like, bro, you doing the most. But I remember like before, and I've done that probably with like 5, 6 different chicks, bro. I was just hella extra with chicks, bro. And I remember she was like, I love you, daddy. And I was like, yeah. I was like, all right, you have a good night. And she would have work in the morning type shit. And I'd have to go to school in the morning type shit. But that's like how I was, though. But like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to tell y'all more stories. Peace and blessings.